Come to Sam Ash for hundreds of exclusive holiday deals on music and sound gear from the most iconic brands. Save big on professional and starter guitars, drums, digital pianos, horns, violins, DJ, and electronic production equipment. Supercharge your home studio with deals on podcasting, streaming, and AV equipment like speakers, microphones, headphones, and acoustic treatment. Plus, with 36 months no-interest financing on thousands of items, you can get the gear of your dreams right now. From our incredible selection and service to our lowest price guarantee for over 95 years, real musicians know you only go to Sam Ash.
You're now in the Sports Web, a sports talk show for the hardcore fan. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here live on Bucs Report. Not the result that a lot of Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans were looking at as the Bucs fall to the New Orleans Saints 34-23. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Let's go ahead and bring in the guys right now. let's go ahead and go out to Joshua Cole Allen and Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's hold up on the phone calls. I know there's a lot of reaction. We'll get to all the reaction. Let's go ahead and recap this game. And it just comes down to simple football 101, guys. You can't turn over the ball no matter what quarterback you are. That pick six to Janoris Jenkins really hurts, about 40 yards there to start the half. Bucs start getting it going, but one step forward, two steps back. Penalty situation out of control. All three facets of the game not very good today. This was like a preseason game, not a regular season game, and this is what we kind of talked about, which could happen even with a Tom Brady and a Rob Gronkowski. They're still trying to find what they are at this point, and they got a lot of things to work on to get better.
Right. One team had a quarterback who's been with that team for over a decade, well over a decade. The other team had a quarterback who's been with that team for less than 6 months and had no preseason, a shortened minicamp, and it showed today.
Another thing that we all noticed here on the Sports Web live from the deck, of course, powered by 320solar.com. Guys, the left side, the big-time question mark for the offensive line, giving up 47 sacks last year, and Brady was under pressure all day long, especially on the left side. And this was my thing. If you're going to have a rookie and Tristan Wirfs on that right side, you're going to have to help him out with Rob Gronkowski. This is where Donovan Smith has to step up, and he did not.
Wait, are you telling me? Oh, Dom, I was going to say Donovan Smith didn't opt out because it looked like he did today.
I'll tell you right
sorry,
now.
Josh.
I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead, and you're exactly right. It looked like he did not play in this game. Constantly pressured. Trey Hendrickson looked like Cameron Jordan, guys.
Yeah, it was just difficult to watch. The offensive line did not hold up their end of the bargain. And, I mean, I won't give it all on them as well. There was definitely some miscommunication between the wide receivers and Tom Brady that led to some of those interceptions. But you're completely right. Penalties and 3 turnovers by Brady. Of course, he did recover that fumble. You're not going to win a game like that. Sloppy football. Kind of expected it this first week, but kind of, thought they hammered out a lot of the kinks in training camp. It's going to be interesting to see what they do next week against the Panthers, Blake.
Yeah. Go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, you definitely you had over a football field of penalties. You had a lot of missed opportunities. Communication seems to be the key word for this game. The communication was not well. I'm specifically looking at the part on the special teams where clearly the returner was supposed to get it, and Mike Edwards had other plans, and it ended up being a turnover, which ultimately doomed the game. To go along with the lack of left tackle dominance or lack thereof, coming from a $14 million a year paid left tackle, and Donovan Smith, which looked worse than Tristan Wirfs, who's his first game out there. I'll have to give props to the interior of the offensive line. The guards and the center handled business in there. I saw Jensen make a couple pancake blocks in there, and Kappa seemed to hold his own in there. But it's just a lot of miscues and miscommunication in this game.
Yeah, no, and you can't have that versus a good team in the Saints who won the division last year, 13 games. I mean, they're gunning. Drew Brees playing possibly in his last year, so everything to lose. You can't commit errors. You cannot commit penalties when you have an opportunity to stop a team. You also have to make plays. We saw Jordan Whitehead today, a couple opportunities to make plays. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy didn't make the plays, and that's the difference.
Right, because, I mean, this team – they still showed the progression that we knew they were going to show. And Tom Brady came out, drives them down the field right off the bat. Everything's feeling great. But then Suckup even has a blocked field goal, which is just, Sean Payton and the way the Saints, the coach. I said they were out-coached, and you said no, and they weren't. But, Sean Payton just seems to know when to apply the pressure at the right place at the right time. And then that little blooper kick that they turn over, we get that ball, we're still only down 7 points, and there's like 12 minutes left in the third quarter, or like 7 minutes left in the third quarter. It's still a game.
Yeah.
That turnover, another touchdown, 14 down, and they never came back from that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, just no matter what quarterback, you can't have interceptions, and I guess this could be expected with Tom Brady and this new offense. I'll tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines here, get some web heads on 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. You're on the Sports Web, powered by 320solar.com. Go ahead.
So I know everybody's going to go ahead and say about, we could have done better with Jameis. So here's the thing.
Well, first and foremost, before you start, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Charles. You know very well.
Oh, Charles. Okay,
Charles.
there
Hey,
we
Charles.
go.
How you
Charles
doing, brother?
Richardson. There you go. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I had to go ahead and jump it because I basically have said either one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to come out and they're going to fire on all cylinders, or there's going to be some rough edges around.
Mhm.
And clearly we've seen some rough edges. Clearly we also saw a lack of a run. So that also didn't help things. But Brady, those 2 interceptions, I would say are clearly on him. You know, Mike Evans did stop on that pattern. He overshot it by a mile.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you because we talked about this last year, Charles, with Mike Evans stopping on routes. It didn't look like he knew the ball was coming to him. He had a touchdown late in the game, but largely ineffective. Lattimore had the better of the matchup.
And what have I said before?
Mhm.
Brady is very critical about his receivers.
Right.
Notice that he only got, 2 targets before that touchdown?
Yeah.
Also, I didn't see Gronk out there. I'm not sure if they were doubling on him, but who did I see that was going to be a breakout star with Brady? And that's Scotty Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Definitely.
went ahead and stepped up. He's going to be that Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type guy in that offense. And I think Brady's going to see a lot. There's going to be a good love connection between those two.
I tell you what, they definitely had some chemistry together, especially on that long pass. And Scotty Miller looks like I know it's one game. I get it, Bucs fans, but he looks totally different from night and day than he did last year.
Beast.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, Brady, even though you saw him sulking and stuff, but you saw the fire in his eyes.
Yep.
When things didn't go right, he's passionate about the game. He's not going to give up.
Sure.
You'll see a better game next time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're definitely going to have a better game, and this team has too much talent. But again, you can't commit penalties, very undisciplined. The turnover situation, all 3 facets. You get a field goal block today, 54-yarder, because it looked like your rookie missed his block. So,
And whoever's the coach in the special teams, 2 things. Number one, I got it. Shout out to let the other guy know you got it.
right.
And number 2, that's so close to the sideline, you'd be at the 40-yard line.
Terrible play. I think he let the ball go out of bounds. It looks like Mike Edwards is trying to go back, and there's no reason for him to do that. Let the returner do his thing at that point, or at least let the ball go out of bounds. You got better field position. Instead, just a bad play. Just it was what this game was.
But, they were
bad plays.
The Bucs were apprehensive on their kick returns like all day. And I mean, it was like, okay, there was a lot of punts. And of course, hats off to the New Orleans Saints. They won that field position battle all day. And of course, that's also going to be an indicator of the team that's going to end up coming out on top, regardless of the turnovers. But there was apprehension. He was catching them, fair catching most of the game. But then there was a couple of them. They were coming to him. We were making fun of the fact that, he caught one standing up. So Sean Payton sees that. Sean Payton, he who kicks the onside kick in the Super Bowl, he sees a weakness like that. He attacks it. And again, good coaching. They end up getting that turnover.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's all on coaching, but again, to use the excuse that, this is on the team because they're not necessarily prepared because of having COVID and not having the minicamp. The other team's the same way. So,
Yeah.
But once
you can say
again,
the same thing about New Orleans with the same position
Correct.
with that.
correct.
Every team's going in as this is their first game out
Sure.
there.
Sure.
No excuse.
Absolutely. No excuse. And again, the turnover situation, I've been critical of Jameis Winston. I've also said that there's wide receivers on this team, Mike Evans being one of them with the greatness. There are times that he will give up on some routes, and I don't know what happened on it. I'm not about to say what happened, but it certainly didn't look good. It was not a good look, especially for Tom Brady, and Brady was quite pissed off about it. So what else, Charles?
By the way,
Yes.
shout out to O.J. Howard.
Yep.
1 touchdown, 1 game, 1 touchdown. All of last year?
Yes. Well,
There's some fight in that guy. I tell you
yes,
that.
they definitely got him more incorporated into the offense, and I think Gronk wasn't that incorporated because, guys, he had to help out the rookie. You wonder, is that going to be a thing until Tristan Wirfs feels comfortable? But I got to tell you, I thought Tristan Wirfs looked better than Donovan Smith, and that's sad because Smith has been in this league for a long time. It seems like 5 or 6 years, and yet we're still talking about the same things with Smith and Tristan Wirfs. To me, I don't know. I don't know where to go at this point. The offensive line definitely has to get better.
And that's what my main concern. What did we do? We went ahead and we loaded up on running backs, loaded up on tight ends.
Yep.
We got the best quarterback in the game.
Yep.
But what did you do for the offensive line? Okay, you drafted an offensive lineman, but that's it.
Right.
Can't do nothing if you don't have the protection, and that should have been number one.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. Again, it's got to improve. If it's not going to improve, then Donovan Smith is not going to start on this team for long. I'm telling you right now, he will not start if he plays like that. And he absolutely, to me, got embarrassed today. This was ugly. There's no defending Donovan Smith. It wasn't just Smith. It's the whole team. But it starts up front. We always talk about it. Your team starts with your offensive line and your defensive line. Defensive line also didn't necessarily get enough pressure. Charles, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you here on the Evolution, all right?
You got to take care.
All right, there you go. Charles, open phone line, your 320 Solar open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go back out to the phone lines here. Mr. Matt Colson, welcome to the Evolution after the Bucs lose 34-23 to the New Orleans Saints to fall to 0-1. What do you have to say?
Man, it's not the obvious of Donovan Smith.
Okay.
He had 3 plays in a row before halftime. 3 in a row where he got.
Hold on a sec. Hold on.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah,
Can you speak
Matt.
up a little too, Matt?
Yeah,
please?
Matt, speak up a little bit, please.
Hang on.
Yeah, turn that.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a
There you
lot
go.
better. There you go. Now we can hear you.
Okay. Like I said, 3 plays in a row in the second quarter, he got beat in one series. And that, for a guy making the money he's making, is just horrendous. If I was Bruce Arians, I would put him on a separate plane and tell him to go wherever the hell he wants in the United States. Just don't come home to Tampa, because he didn't show up for any of it.
Yeah, not good.
I got that all off my chest. I wanted to bitch about Sean Payton.
Okay.
Why is he running trick plays and running up the score with less than a minute to go in a game that's meaningless at this point? And he's he's just throwing salt on us.
No idea. But
I
I'll tell you right now, I don't like it, but then it always goes back to the old thing. You got to stop it, right? You got to put up points in the NFL. You never know, but you're exactly right. The game seems out of reach, and he's just rubbing an end there at that juncture. And hopefully the Bucs defense remembers it, but
I hope they do.
Right.
When they show up back at Tampa Stadium, we might actually have a crowd, and the crowd will remember it.
yeah, I hope so. Right.
Man, that just hacked me off to no end. Now,
Well,
on the good side, I thought the defense, the linebackers did very well. I thought the interior line did pretty good, except for jumping off sides. But that's a preseason problem, and that you already talked about no preseason, so they're not really ready to go yet.
Sure.
But-
Absolutely.
I didn't see anything out of the defense that made me say, "Oh my God, we're dead." It didn't give me that impression.
No.
They looked rough.
Well,
And
they did. In
I
that
think-
third quarter, they definitely the Bucs outplayed the Saints, even with the turnover situation. They stopped the Saints, and if I told you, you stopped on Alvin Kamara, you held him in check, even though he had 3 touchdowns, but not big time yardage on the ground. You held him under 100. Besides the
he
big
got
play,
blasted.
yes. So they did a good job of holding him and also Michael Thomas in check, and still lost because you've got to have all 3 facets of your game working. If you don't have it, you're going to lose to a good team like the Saints, and the Saints are not a good team. They're a great team. They won the division last year. So
Yeah, but the first interception that Brady threw, where Evans did a square in when he thought Brady thought he was going to go down the line.
right.
That was preseason problems, and I could see that from the second it happened. You could see by the expression on Mike Evans' face that he thought he was doing the right thing, and by all account that I could see, because he's been in the offense, I would lend to say that Mike Evans was doing the right thing, and that Brady messed up.
I don't know. Blake Anthony, you got something to say? Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, on those routes in that offense, it's a choice route, depending on where the defense lines up. So sometimes you get those miscommunications. That's why Evans and Brady were looking at each other. It's the identical pass and the identical play in the Titans game where Jameis Winston overthrew Chris Godwin and threw at the Baird, the safety. If you want to go back and look at that game, it's the exact same play. It's a choice route when they talk.
All right, I think we've lost Blake there, or we got a little.
He went.
Yeah,
dead.
we got a little tech issue here, so we'll go ahead, get him off a screen right now until that gets figured out. Matt, what else?
Well, he was right. That is a play that you've seen before. and it's a thing where they've got to understand each other, and I think that'll work itself out.
Mhm.
We're 0-1 to start the year, but so is half the league tomorrow, right?
Sure.
So it's not the end of the world. You don't need to be going out getting trashed tonight and saying it's all gloom and doom.
Right.
It's not.
No.
Brady's not going to settle for this, but they've got to do something about Donovan Smith. That was the biggest black eye on the team today.
Right.
I don't care if Slocum got blocked. That was the rookie lost his block or something and opened that up.
Yeah. No,
That's
absolutely.
gonna happen.
Michael Thomas, Carlton Davis, and the rest of this back-end defense doing a good job against Michael Thomas. 3 catches for 17 yards. So, there were some good things, but not enough pressure on Drew Brees, letting him, and then on top of it, your defense over pursuing where you're giving up those screen passes to an Alvin Kamara. It's going to make you pay all day long.
Yeah, there was a point where they brought up the stats, and it was like Brady had 200 and some odd yards.
Right.
And Brees had less than 150.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when the game was still competitive. So there's bright spots, and I think we'll do better next week or whatever.
All right, good stuff, Matt. Thanks a lot for the call.
Let you go.
Yeah, definitely use that second call. All right, appreciate you, bud. All right, so let's go out to Will Mann here. Will Mann, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. What do you have to say?
Oh, man, what's going on, dude?
What's up? You sound happy, Will. Well, what's up?
On the positive. I want to focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this. We were chatting back and forth during the game. Dude, our defense is freaking bonkers.
Our defense was good. They had their moments today. But they also had some bad moments where Jamel Dean gets burnt on coverage with Jared Cook looking back.
With the
offsides penalty.
Yep.
Pass interference.
But those are like preseason jitters, you know what I mean? But, we didn't have preseason. We had a crummy off season, so to speak, the COVID. And, the big thing that really I did not know this. And my buddy was over here watching the game. I'm like, dude, where's the red flag? Where's the red flag? I'm waiting for Arians to throw the flag.
Right. Yeah.
And there was pass interference. It was clearly pass interference towards the end of the half. I didn't know that we couldn't challenge that anymore. I was like, oh, wow, that's a new rule? Oh, well, this sucks because that was clearly pass interference.
Well, the referees definitely missed a couple calls there, but the Bucs didn't do any favors by grabbing onto receivers, but you're exactly right. They definitely missed a call before the half, and there is no rule anymore. You can't challenge pass interference. So.
Yeah, that was clearly pass interference. And you know the play I'm talking about.
I know what the play you're talking about. Absolutely, talked about it at halftime. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game was. Rojo had the sparks of brilliance. He looked a lot better than he did last year. The big problem, and everybody is saying it, we all know it. Donovan Smith is the issue. You can't have Donovan Smith being a turnstile, letting, 80-year-old man coming through with the walker, knocking over somebody. I mean, Jameis Winston dealt with that last year.
No, I don't think Tom Brady's an 80-year-old man, first and foremost. So stop with
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying Tom Brady is 80.
Okay.
I'm saying Donovan Smith
is
letting an 80-year-old man walk past him to knock somebody over.
Well, I don't think he's. I think those players are a lot better than 80 years old here. Will Trey Hendrickson's young? No, I don't get what you're saying. I don't understand it. These players are good defensive players. Donovan Smith just had made them look better because he doesn't have good technique. He looks sloppy. They're not older players.
No, I think you're not understanding what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that Donovan is that bad that a high school player could get past him.
He looked like he was on skates.
Right. Well,
he was on his heels the whole game.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's the same story as I said it 100,000 times, and I'll say it 100,001. He don't move his feet.
No, he doesn't. Made of concrete.
And I mean, do you think they would have rolled some protection over there with either Gronk or OJ because he was getting beat all game? It seems like Cam Jordan was just having his way with him. I just don't understand why there was no slide over there. And at that point, I mean, you got to maybe look at Joe Haig because this guy was just getting beat the whole time. I know you're paying him $14 million, but, number one is protect the quarterback. And if he can't do it, then you need to find someone who's going to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you look at Joe Haig. I mean, that's pushing the panic button. But again, if the play continues to be the way it is, then there's going to have to be some changes to that line. And look, I've mentioned, and I know it's the first game, we may be jumping off the bridge here, but if Donovan Smith doesn't continue to play better, I could see definitely Tristan Wirfs being in there next year. But we're way far. We're way away from that at this point.
And the Bucs are rolling the cover. They're rolling the support to the right to help out your rookie Tristan Wirfs at right tackle. And then we saw, even when they cheated Scotty Miller in a motion to get over there, he's a little late. He's a little late on that one where Brady was actually in a big sack. That was a big sack in the game. But the thing is, you can't roll help to both sides and still have someone to go. You can go 12 package or jumbo package, but you can't run many routes out of that package. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, Donovan Smith, those feet, just concrete. We knew he couldn't get downfield to block to save his life, but now we're realizing he can't even get out of a 3-point stance to get back to save Tom Brady's life.
Yeah, well, I tell you right now, again, Brady's not going to put up with it. Coach Arians and Byron Leftwich are not going to put up with it, so he's got to improve his play.
They're not going to put up with this garbage. I mean, some of the stuff that happened was just ridiculous. And like I said, I didn't expect, like I messaged you earlier, I did not expect the Bucs to come in and win this week.
Okay.
The Saints are a very, very, very well-oiled machine. This team is dominant. There's a reason that they, have been consistently dominating our division.
Mm-hmm.
And with so many new pieces coming in on the offense and the defense secondary being so young, granted, they're a lot. They were gelling towards the end of last year, but you got to get to the point where you're consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be consistent. Yes, and they got a lot of talent. They got to get it together. It's an early season. Again, it's one game. Let's see what they do versus Carolina next week. Anything else?
I honestly think that, if we had a preseason and we had the actual stuff that we were supposed to have, like if we didn't have the COVID stuff, we might have actually walked away with a win this week.
Again, I don't know that, because it matter if you have a preseason or not. You can't turn over the ball multiple times. You can't fail in special teams. Hold on now. Wait. And you can't have double-digit penalties, no matter if you have a preseason or not. Good stuff, Will, man. Thanks a lot for calling the Evolution, all right?
Exactly right, Peter. And that's exactly what BA just said in his press conference. He's disappointed in the mental errors. He thought they had all camp to get past those. The penalties still come up from last year. These are things that should have been worked out, obviously, without a preseason game and the lack of continuity between the Bucs and versus the Saints. It's something that they should have had, dialed in, and that's ultimately what they did. Again, the Bucs beat themselves.
Absolutely. All right, Joshua, hold up. Let's go out to Johnny Dean, the professor. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from the deck. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole Allen, and, of course, Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. What's on your mind tonight?
Is everybody out there losing their minds now?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, look, we talked about some of these things.
Chats, man. That's what I'm just saying.
I'm gonna right.
I see fire the coach and all that stuff already.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. We'll read some of those comments.
Today
on the
was the start of the 45th year for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and let's be honest, of the 45 years, there's been 38 years where we had optimism, but we came away a little depressed. So we were, Johnny, you and I've been talking. We were a little more psyched up this year than most, and of course, I still think we have great. 2002, our Super Bowl year, we lose to these Saints 14-12 in that first game in New Orleans. And then we come back the next week and we beat the Ravens, who had a great defense still from 2000, 25-0. I wouldn't want to be the Carolina Panthers coming into Tampa State or Raymond James Stadium next week.
No, I wouldn't. This whole game was all a fundamental mess.
Yes. It's what it is. Yep.
The Saints have a veteran core who played more fundamental football than the Bucs did. That's what, and our special teams.
Right.
Sorry, hate them.
That special teams wasn't good. I mean, Ryan Suckup made a 38-yard field goal, but had a blocked field goal. And then, again, I don't know what Mike Edwards is thinking at that point. When a guy's calling for it, he's trying to run back and get it. It's just a stupid play. It's not knowing where you are, and it costs your team, because then after that, the Saints get the ball and you have no chance No chance at all. It's 31-17. I think they go up 34-17 in its game. That's it. So,
pardon my French, but Bruce Arians called that stuff high school shit.
Joshua Cole Allen predicted this.
What now?
I think he said it was going to be I think Joshua, I'm not sure if it was Joshua or if it was Rick, or both. Maybe it was both of them. Predicted a slow start.
Yeah.
It was kind of obvious that, you go up against a veteran team that has a solid core that's been together for a while, and again, a team that's just thrown together without any OTAs. What are you going to get? What are you going to get?
And that was Rick Hughes. That was Rick Hughes,
Yep.
who, by the way, his premiere of his new show from the Cheap Seats will be tonight after our post-game show right here from the deck.
Yep, that's right. Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats coming up here after this post-game edition of the Sports Web. What else, Johnny Dean?
That's it.
All right,
oh,
boss.
by the way, the callers can't really hear Ray. It's all kind of weird sounding there.
I don't know, Ray. What's going on? What's wrong with your voice there?
Test 1, 2. My mic's down a little bit, but my voice is a little.
Can you hear
I've
him?
been here since 7 a.m. with Cup of Ray getting set up. It's been damp out here, Johnny. I've been battling tropical depression, Sally ride. So yeah, it's been a long day.
It sounds like there's two channels on at the same time. That sound
I've got a dual channel voice.
Yeah, I don't know, Johnny Dean. We'll figure it out here. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. All right,
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, later, guys.
Tell Tracy we said hi.
All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. Welcome to the 320 Solar edition of the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole, Allen Blake. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Steve from San Antonio.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, so I think it's two things really. So the first thing, I think our defense played pretty much right down to they got their little extended long in the trip. Second is, I guess there's two more things, but I think what turned the game was that pitch from Mike Evans that stopped running the route.
Right.
And that block field goal.
Yeah, two big plays.
Things never happened. And I think it's the lack of preseason, I guess. I mean, and there's no excuse. No other teams had preseason, but when you're playing a team that has so much time to lose, like we said, all the veterans and everything, I really do believe that if we would have had a preseason, Mike Evans would have ran that full route.
Well, Mike Evans was a non-factor, and whether that's the injury or just giving credit to where credit is due, Marshawn Lattimore absolutely dominated that matchup. I know Brady was looking for him, but he couldn't.
Well, Bruce Arians said without the pass interference, he would have had over 100 yards receiving. Exactly. So he wasn't as non-factor as one would think. Yeah, he didn't show up until late in the game with that touchdown catch. But I mean, if those two pass interference penalties were huge.
Well, they were definitely huge, but still, once again, if you're great, and I got told this by Leo Haggerty, if you're as great as you say you are, you've got to show up in those big-time matchups versus a Lattimore, and we know last year he struggled versus Lattimore. He did the same today, injury or not. Just saying. All right, what else, Steve?
No, that's it. No, I think some fans might be upset. I mean, I'm upset.
Sure. Well, it's one game. I mean, again, you have to put it into perspective, right? I mean, Bucs fans have been there before where they get optimistic and you win the game, the first game, you get off to a good start and you think you're going to make the playoffs and then you falter. And then also there's been seasons where you start out a little bit slow. Now you have to basically put the pieces back together, much like they did last year when they had a slow start versus the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of turnovers in that game. Now you get to come home and play the Carolina Panthers, who are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. So you got an opportunity, but that's a Panther team is down. They're going to come in here. It's almost like a must win for them. You can't start out 0-2. We know that 0-2, 0-3. You're basically done. So, and same goes with the Bucs. Bucs have to put it back together, and they have to do a better job of taking care of the ball and not having penalties and working on the three facets of your game: offense, defense, and special teams. They all have to come together. If one is faltering, it's going to haunt you. So,
yeah, you know what? Just one thing I want to say is that it's one game. I mean, just like you guys. I mean, you guys know more than I do. You guys have to do this for a living.
Thank you.
But let's not worry. Let's calm down.
Yep.
The first of the season.
Yep.
We got the newest piece on the team, which is the most important piece on the team, which is the quarterback. Still getting to know. I mean, let's calm down. I'm not saying people are panicking, but I feel like
Sure.
people are. And let's just relax. Just like Aaron Rodgers says, hey, let's relax.
Yep.
One game.
I like it, Steve. Good stuff. Thanks a lot for calling the Evolution. Definitely use that second and third call, all right?
All right, Peter.
All right, good stuff. So, yes, we'll definitely what are you saying here, Blake? Go ahead.
That's a Panthers defensive line is no joke neither. They got a lot of young studs on that defensive line.
Brown's looking at his chops right now. Brown's looking at that tape already, looking at either Wirfs on the right or Donovan on the left. And Matos on the right end. Yeah. Do you think they're not licking their chops?
Well, I mean,
Brian Burns.
You're exactly right. I mean, they're a young defense, but they did give up over 30 points today. So they can definitely be had. It's nothing is a must win in this league, but you feel like both of these teams, especially the Bucs, are going to come out and they're going to have a better performance than they had in New Orleans today, and they did not get it done. Let me tell you what, let's go out to the webheads here, read some comments from these guys, and then we'll comment and take more phone calls. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web, powered by 320solar.com. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Of course, you got Joshua Cole Allen of the Audible, which can be seen and heard here 7:30 on Wednesday nights. He also has a fantasy show on Fridays. And, of course, you got Blake Anthony of Blake and Blake Sports Talk 49, Monday and Fridays here on Bucs Report. No chemistry yet, says David. I have a lot of work to do that needs to be done. Tom says, my goodness, folks, another rough one in the books. Andrew Fulbear, the big board. We will be better. Last bit showed what the team can be. Rojo is better than a lot of us thought. Miller, a real threat. Defense can make plays. Don't abandon ships yet, Bucs fans. There are times where Ronald Jones, and as I've always said, a victim of volume, but then again, he still looks a little bit tentative, Blake Anthony. I mean, let's talk about this running game a little bit. Not really much of a factor, of course, when you get down in games 24-7, as we talked about on this show the last month here. You're not going to win many, and it's going to take you out of your game plan to run the ball.
Absolutely, but that doesn't really factor in earlier in this game when the Bucs had the lead and all the momentum, where they tried to gravitate the ball towards him and let him lead the pack and try to break off some big runs. He could not break the first tackle. He could not get through some running lanes. I believe he had, 12 for 27 yards at one point before later on in the game, if that's when I finished with or not. But they tried to get him in space early in the game. I don't know why they went away from that later in the game, because running between the tackles wasn't working for him. But he had his chance today. That's why you saw a lot of carries later on by Leonard Fournette. You saw LaShawn McCoy come in. But he definitely had his chance earlier today with the lead to show why he's the number one back, and he did not do so.
Well,
No.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I mean, he did victim of volume. He did lead the team with 17 carries, also added in 2 catches. And, BA in his press conference just a couple minutes ago said that Jones ran the ball really well. He liked the way he ran it. And if you look at the other guys, there's only 6 carries, not even. There was only 5 other carries by the running backs. But Leonard Fournette, Scotty Miller had 1. Tom Brady had 3, of course, for that touchdown to open up the game. But Ronald Jones was the featured back in this game. I'm not sure if it's because Leonard Fournette just got here, if that things are going to change, but they're going to give your man Ronald Jones the volume and see if he can produce with it. And today he had some good looking runs, 1 for 21 yards, and we'll have to see if he can build off that next week against the Panthers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he's going to get plenty of carries. Fournette, 5 carries, 5 yards, not much of an impact. Let's go back out to the webheads here, read these comments. We're live
for loss.
Huh?
Yeah. A lot of them were for a loss. I mean, he had a log of 6 and he ended with 5. So,
well, I mean, that's not on your running back. That's on your offensive line, especially on that left side. They've got to do a better job. Get on the phone lines, webheads. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. Bucs fall to the Saints 34-23 to go to 0-1. They have the Carolina Panthers next week. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole Allen, and, of course, Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go back out to the webheads. Only their first game we will start winning. Need to work harder. This game does not define our season. I like it. Looks like an 8-win team at best, says Russ.
Ooh.
Michael Harper, they will be fine. Great coach. He will work out, I believe, the bugs. Got out coach, says Ari. Do we believe that? I mean, I know what Ray does. how Ray believes that. But Joshua Cole, Allen, Blake Anthony, do you believe that Coach Arians got out coached today?
There were times where certain situations he outmatched the defense. As I said earlier, how do you combat a very aggressive defense? You throw screens. They were out of place. Kamara walked into the end zone, got a big penalty on a pass interference, ran it in on the weak side for another walk-in touchdown. Later in the game, you do a double pass with Taysom Hill, easy catch. I mean, it was kind of, you don't do that later on in the game, but took advantage of over-aggressive defense, and they just never really adjusted to that. And Sean Payton took advantage of that.
Yeah,
I think that's more on Todd Bowles than it is on Bruce Arians. He's got the freedom to run that defense the way he sees fit. Obviously, Bruce Arians has the final say, but when they go into the week with a game plan, Todd Bowles is the one calling that defense. The good thing is, this schedule does lighten up a little bit. You have Carolina, Denver, the Chargers, and Chicago, who all couldn't really seem to get out of their own way. Obviously, Denver's still up in the air. They haven't played yet. Before you get Green Bay in week 6 in October. So there's time to right this ship against some, I don't want to call them lesser teams because it's the NFL and week in and week out parity changes, but there's some time to hopefully right this ship, get on the right course.
All right, let's go back out to the 320 Solar Hotline. Welcome to the Evolution. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Todd from Winter Park.
All right, Todd, what's on your mind? Bucs lose to the Saints. What do you have to say?
Well, I know it's only one game. I still think this team, there's a lot of talent there. I think we got some things we got to work on. My question to you guys, all four of you guys, I'm not sold on Ronald Jones, and I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm just not sold on him.
That's fair. I think that's fair because they're
why if the Bucs are really sold on him, why do you bring in LaShawn McCoy? Why do you bring in Leonard Fournette? And I know our O-line's got a lot to work on too. I hear what you're saying, Peter, but I don't believe in Ronald Jones. I'm sorry.
You know what? And I'm not going to fault you for it. I believe in Ronald Jones, but today there were flashes of some brilliance, and then there's other times where there's much to be desired. And I think it's either on Jones or it's on the offensive line. Line's got to do a better job, but you're exactly right. Why do you bring in more running backs? Because you have to have more than one running back in this league now.
You probably also bring in those extra running backs because you realize you're going to need to protect Tom Brady.
What BA says. I believe in what BA says, but you don't bring in a McCoy and Fournette if you believe in Jones.
Well, I think you got to cover all your bases. I mean, you got an opportunity to get a running back that was 4th overall in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
You have an opportunity to get a player that can bring a trait that your running backs kind of struggle at. We talked about Jones and the catching ability. McCoy can show that. We know the propensity, Leo word, of what Brady can do when throwing to his running backs. And then you draft a Keyshawn Vaughn. Remember, it's not all rainbows and unicorns here with this Bucs offense with their running game situation because it was ranked 26th last year. So, yes, I'm a guy that says VOV, victim of volume, but Ronald Jones has to show it. And if he doesn't show it, then there's another running back that's going to take his place. Last year, when you were in this situation, you had Peyton Barber and Nadare. That's not going to get it done. So the Bucs have covered all their bases with getting running backs that can provide that if a Jones falters. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Well, yes, sir. I agree with what you're saying, but I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
I think before the year's over, Leonard Fournette will be the number one back.
You know what?
He had 1,600 yards last year.
But hey, guys, as long as you're running back,
I don't have anything against Ronald Jones.
Right.
No.
I just don't think he's the guy.
I got to tell you, though, if Jesus Christ could be your running back, but if he's trying to avoid the first tackle 5 yards deep in your backfield because Donovan Smith can't block a shadow, then you're going to have a positive running game. That's just facts. But I get what you're saying because Leonard Fournette, when he came in, he looked aggressive. But Rojo, going back to USC, he showed you give him a sliver of daylight at that line, let him avoid that first tackle, get him on that second level. He'll take it to the house. Yep. And he was showing today he was determined. But you're right, he didn't have the success we'd hoped he'd have.
No, he didn't. And you may be right. It may be Fournette. Again, if Jones falters, we'll see how it works out. But once again, it's a good problem to have. I go back to the pitching reference, as you would know baseball. Tampa Bay Rays, they have 7 to 8 starting pitchers. You go, well, you only need 4 or 5. Well, you have to work around it. It's a good problem to have. The Bucs will figure this out. And if Jones falters, you have Fournette or Keyshawn Vaughn or maybe even a McCoy. I don't think of McCoy. I think McCoy's seen his best days. I think he's more of a third down back. But once again, the Bucs are covered, and you would have to agree that they're better at that situation and more prepared than they were last year, right?
Yes, sir. And it's just one game. We all can't get we can't overreact too much.
Agree.
It's going to get better.
Sure.
They got a lot of things to work on, and I'm a Bucs fan for life. I love the Bucs.
Okay.
And I keep rooting for them, and let's hope next week's a better week.
Let's fire those cannons for you here, Todd. There we go. There we go.
Great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate the call. Use that second and third call here on the Evolution, powered by 320 Solar. I'm your host, Peter Blake, live from the Deck Bar and Grill. The food was great. The service was great. Maybe not the result that a lot of Bucs fans desired as they fall to 0-1. Saints win 34-23. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole Allen of the Audible, Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go back out to Matt Colson. Welcome back to the Evolution. What do you have to say?
I've been watching these comments that keep coming in,
Yes.
and it's like this is week 10 or something.
Yes, I agree.
I don't understand how you can take one game and go completely from it's all hallelujah. Yesterday.
That's some Bucs fans out there. There's some Bucs fans out there that kind of act like that, and it is what it is. There's a reason why I love the webheads out there, but sometimes the webheads are a little bit crazy. We just got to calm them down. So Matt, go ahead and calm everybody down.
Well, it's not it's against
I didn't hear that.
Hey guys, how did Phillip Rivers do in his debut for the Indianapolis Colts? Who'd they lose to today?
Jacksonville.
Okay, and Jacksonville is literally an implosion waiting to implode again. So, I mean, you take a quarterbacks who've been with their teams for 15, 16, 17, 22 years, and they're on a new team, right?
I got to say this because Matt Colson, his boy today, Baker Mayfield, really looked like he stunk up the joint. Once again, Browns doing what the Browns do, getting poleaxed by the Baltimore Ravens. 30
more commercials than
Expect to happen there, Peter.
Yes, and my dad said it to me.
The Ravens were supposed to be the team this year. We're supposed to play them in the Super Bowl. So they go to Cleveland, and you think that Baker's going to be all this?
I'm just saying, that was your quarterback.
Baker
Mayfield, that was your guy.
That's my quarterback.
That was your saving grace for the Cleveland Browns. And look, Browns fans feel like that. Indianapolis Colts fans feel like that. Hell, the Philadelphia Eagle fans are like, what in the world happened with the Washington football team with them
Peyton Barber, former Buccaneer, not good enough to stay here, wins the game for him on the 3-yard line.
Yeah, well, it was a defense also. 8 sacks, of course, led by Chase Young.
Yeah, playing inspired football.
Sure.
And
Peyton Barber.
He's Matt.
Peyton Barber is your boy. Of course, Baker Mayfield is your boy too, but you're not willing to.
Hey guys, can I say?
Yeah, Peyton Barber had 29 yards. Yeah, he's real good.
Come on now.
2 touchdowns.
Come on, Matt. Go ahead,
Well,
Matt.
he was a victim of volume.
You shut up. All right, Matt, what else?
I didn't even understand what that was all about. That was crazy. I just wanted to say it's not time to walk the plank yet.
No.
It's not time to fire Arians. You don't need to get Jason Light on the next bus into town. You need to get rid of Donovan Smith.
Well,
there has got to be some practice squad, somebody comparable to that incompetence. That's the main thing that they had to worry about last year. The year before that, they brought him back again today. And if I was Tom Brady, I'd be all up in the offices talking about what are we going to do about it? Because that was the problem. And we were in this game, whether people want to admit it or not in the comments. We were in this game till the end of the third quarter. And we still could have come back with a few key plays in the fourth quarter until Sean Payton started doing his rub it in your face kind of nonsense.
Sure.
I don't – that's going to bother me all year.
No, Matt, let me tell you, though.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot for the call. We got to go out to the dude here, and then we're going to get Frank Ammons of 320 Solar on. So thanks a lot for the call. Use that other call, okay, bud?
I'll be bugging Rick tonight. You guys have a good evening.
All right, there you go, Matt. Thanks a lot. Let's go out to the dude here. The dude abides. Welcome to the Evolution after the Bucs 0-1, losing to the Saints 34-23. What's on your mind?
Well. Here we are. Same as we were last year. But that said, Blake Anthony, brother, good to see you out there, man. I think you were spot on about what you had to say earlier. I don't know if you picked this up from the comments, Peter, but Arians, I guess, has reportedly confirmed that pass was Brady's fault, not Evans. Evans ran the correct route.
Okay.
So maybe it's just a matter that the quarterback position in general hates Tampa Bay.
The kicker position's solid, but the quarterback position hates us now.
Well, I'm not ready to go. I know what you're saying. And a lot of people say, well, Tampa Bay, they're going to ruin Tom Brady, but he's too talented. They got too much talent. They've got to put it together. And once again, it may be an excuse to some people, but when you're missing out on 400 reps, whether you're a rookie or not, it's almost like Tom Brady is a rookie to a certain degree to this offense. So he's got to work out the kinks. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin got to get on the same page. That's why you have preseason and training camp. They only had 14 padded practices, so they're going to have to get on the page. I think they will eventually. This defense may have to carry them a little bit. You have to think, though, eventually they're going to get on the same page because Brady's too good, Godwin is too good, and, of course, Evans is too good. And I tell you right now, Scotty Miller, Scotty knows. He looked pretty good today. He looked solid. Yeah.
Oh, those well, here's the thing, man. The game was ugly. You could put it on a Brady interception, sure. You could put it on the piss poor. Ooh, it's after 10? No, it's not. Anyway, piss poor special teams play from the block kick to whatever Edwards was doing, like he was Willie Mays trying to shag a ball in outfield.
Yeah.
The offense wasn't consistent in any actual run or pass. It was, to me, it looked like a preseason game, which is basically what it was. But unfortunately, they count these are live bullets. Now, I'm confused because I heard earlier in the broadcast, or on an earlier broadcast live from the deck, something about a QVC code or something and a free key to win a what? A car?
What is it, a Silverado?
It's a Chevy Silverado.
Yes.
All around the deck in here are QR
So wait a
codes.
minute. If you come down to the Bucs Report watch party at the Deck Bar and Grill for every Buccaneers game, they have some kind of code you can scan on the wall, and each game they're going to select one person to get a key.
Yes.
I mean, let me just say this right now, Bucs fans, okay? There is not another Bucs platform that's doing what we're doing. We're going live right now. We're giving the opportunity to text in. I'm going to read these webhead comments. I'm going to definitely take your calls. But if you come down here, you can hang out with us. You can enjoy the deck. You can enjoy the great customer service and the great food. And you can be a part of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Join the 65,000 following we have here on Facebook, of course, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and Twitch. Bucs Report. I guess there's one viewer on there, but you can be a part of this. And dude, and everybody else, there's not another Bucs platform that's doing this. So take advantage of it because we're going to be here whether they win, lose. Well, I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say.
Draw.
I'm not going to take draw because they don't want that. Draw is like, ties like kissing your sister. We don't want to do that. Go on.
So
we are down south.
Well, you
So
shut up.
what you're saying is anybody who comes to these watch parties can scan the code on the wall at the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla, and that's a chance to win a brand new Chevy Silverado?
Yes, sir.
Is that-
At the
so-
Super Bowl, they'll call all the winners down and see if the key turns it on.
Wait a
and then
minute. So
drive off.
you can watch the Bucs, see the Sports Web and Bucs Report guys live in person, and you could win a car. I'm sorry, a truck.
And we're giving away also
Free swag,
signed
the entire
shirts,
game.
swag. I mean, we're going to
Tailgate
try to get
specials.
some Bucs Report shirts. I mean, we're going to.
Next week we'll have a signed Jack Barrett jersey.
They're thinking in the 90s and 2000s. We're thinking in the 2020s and 2030s.
evolution.
Yes,
The
it is. If you're still alive there, Tampa Bay Ray, you're
I'm
pretty
still,
old.
but don't forget also, if you're here
Yes.
before halftime, you can register for a raffle to win a date with one of the Bucs Report crew here.
Oh wait! I'll sign up for that. The dude abides with the dating. Now, before I'm going to jump off here, I want to get some. I want to get some analysis from Blake and Joshua over there. No offense, guys, but I know Blake has been sitting there watching the game, And I would say he's got at least 5 things he needs to get off his chest. And, of course, Joshua has been checking in on the press conferences live during the show, so he might have a few nuggets for us. That said, the dude is out. Stay tuned after this show.
How does he know?
There's another one live from the Cheap Seats with Rick Hughes. That's it. We're going to have, 6 shows today live from the morning till the middle of the night. That's Bucs Report, and that's not what you guys are.
There you go. Good stuff. The dude abides. Thanks a lot. Killing it. So let's go out to you guys here. Joshua Cole-Allen, Blake Anthony. What else did you see in this game that was a positive or negative?
I mean, some of the negatives is, the field position. The field position that they had to start with after most of these drives was just pretty much abysmal. You're looking at, 15, 12, 25, 25, 25, 25, 14, 11. So they had long fields all day. And the turnovers didn't help. One interesting note that Tom Brady and Bruce Arians both mentioned in their press conference is that Bruce Arians thinks the stadium could be louder. The crowd noise could be louder. Tom said it felt like a scrimmage in there. But the general theme was disappointment. Disappointment on how the offense was. Disappointment on how the defense was. Although Bruce Arians did say that the defense did come along in the second half and played really well. And Devin White said that communication was really good. There's definitely some plays they left out there. Bruce Arians said about 2 to 3 times that, again, we're seeing drop balls that could have been interceptions. Antoine Winfield Jr., who played very well for a rookie, did drop 2 of those. So it's just improving all around the field. O.J. Howard did catch a touchdown pass, became the 22nd tight end to catch a touchdown pass from Tom Brady. So look for these tight ends to be more involved. But you just want to see more players involved on the offensive side of the ball and more consistency between them. And it's going to start up with that line, because if you can't protect Brady, you can't open holes for the running backs. There's not going to be time to throw these passes and get into a rhythm on offense. Blake?
What about you, Blake? Why was Gronk so ineffective? You kind of talked about this at halftime. What were they doing? Was it because he was helping out so much with Tristan Wirfs?
It was a 2-part system in that. One is that helping out, but you do chip and release. It's not like he stays there the entire time, which takes up time. As you said earlier, the protection, you didn't have that much time to throw to wait for him to get out to his route, because everything is about timing. So you have to stay, chip, then release, then get downfield to get to your route. Meanwhile, Donovan Smith's getting beat on the left side. Now you're scrambling up in the pocket and trying to get rid of the ball or get rid of it, so you can't really get the Gronk. On the other part, when he did release, the linebacker and the safety were both beating him up, literally. Like I said, when he was getting about to 5 yards, they were both putting their hands on him, and Tom Brady would look to him, but there wasn't anything there. So, as I was saying earlier, before halftime, they have to find ways to get the ball into the backs in space. If they're going to use 2 guys to take on Rob Gronkowski, you have to get the ball to somebody else. That's not really on Tom Brady. That's on Byron Leftwich, and it's play calling. You have to find a way to get your playmakers the ball, and he did not do that today.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the release with Tom Brady. It's still there. It's still quick as ever. And you saw him make those moves to try to step in the pocket, but when the pocket is collapsing on the outside and they're literally rushing through your left and right tackle at times into that pocket that the 3 interior linemen are making for you to give you more time, it's not going to work for anybody. So that definitely needs to be improved. Play on the outside, and I don't know how you can take those tight ends and put them there and take them out of the game just to be extra blockers. It's not going to be effective for this offense.
It's not. It's a good point. It's absolutely a good point. I'll tell you what, let's go out to Frank Ammons of 320 Solar. Of course, phone line still open. Let's go out to him here. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Not necessarily the result that a lot of Bucs fans were hoping for, but what did you see today? Give me your analysis, Frank.
Yeah, there's some bright spots on the team, but I think obviously a lot of sloppy play and penalties. I think we'll clean it up though. That's where the good coaching comes in, and I think early on, kind of some things fell apart on us with some of the route running and play calling. But at the end of the day, we definitely had some costly turnovers that turned into points for the other team, and you just can't, you can't do that and expect to win the game.
No, you're absolutely right. I tell you what, let's go out to Curtis from Newport Richie. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, powered by 320solar.com. What are your thoughts?
Well, I just want to give out a shout out to the secondary because kids look good out there today.
Yeah, I mean, look, look, Curtis, and guys, when you hold Michael Thomas to 3 catches for 17 yards, that's a pretty good day. Once again, though, it was Jared Cook that kind of killed you. You had some big plays in this game, but Michael Thomas was largely ineffective.
And Winfield looks very promising.
Yeah, he was close quite a few times today, and he looks like he's not going to be happy till he's not only close, but he's achieving.
Opened up the game with the first tackle, so he definitely looked good out there.
Too.
Yeah, he did lay the wood out a couple times. Dropped a couple interceptions, but
hold on, Josh. Go ahead, Curtis.
Sorry.
Stop being negative Nancy's, because I mean, it's one game.
Yes, it is one game. You're exactly.
Just breaking it down. I mean, there were some mental errors, but they did look good as a whole.
Expecting sloppy football.
I don't know. I mean, I thought it wasn't going to be that sloppy. I thought they would come out. You know, I don't know how much you excuse the. Of course, you can't excuse the interceptions, but as you learned from the press conference from Bruce Arians, it wasn't on Mike Evans. This was on Tom Brady, and then you kind of wonder with the Justin Watson, was that on Watson or was that also on Brady? Those kind of things, and that's why it's so important for a quarterback to develop those repetitions in a training camp and in preseason. I get it. Tom Brady's not going to play a lot of series in preseason, but still you have to develop that chemistry with your wide receivers. And when you don't, there's things like this that happen.
Well, all I want to know is who can we replace Donovan Smith with?
You?
Well, here's the
Frank. I think Frank. I mean, Frank, you look like a big
Frank
guy.
can play
Can
offensive
you
tackle.
play left tackle, Frank?
Yeah, you could.
I don't have the fast kick back, the leg kick as
well.
as
Neither does Donovan Smith. So I think you would fit right in. Go ahead, Curtis.
For $14 million, they can train me until my heart busts.
All right, Curtis. What else?
Nothing, man. I just Ronald Jones keep pounding the ball. Just keep pounding the ball with the running game.
VOV, baby. VOV. Victim of volume.
Yeah, Fournette looked good with his just the little bit he learned being here for a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, I think he's going to take over the starting role, and Ronald is going to be more of a slasher for us.
Yeah, he definitely looks like that. Curtis, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you, all right?
All
right, there you go. So let's go back out to the phone lines, powered by 320solar.com. You're on with yours truly, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, of course, Blake Anthony, Joshua Cole Allen, and Frank Amons of 320 Solar. What's on your mind?
Hey, this is Deshaun Sisdale.
Hey, Deshaun.
Hey, man. I like the game. My two keys right now out of this game was, I'm going to say the second one because it's Donovan Smith. But there was a couple of things that I know you guys are going to dig into, and I'm always on with Blake Anthony and 49ers. And I know Blake is going to dig into this later when he looks at the film. Hey, looking at this film, I'm sure that the Saints got this as well. There were way too many times that we had JPP in pass coverage, and I realized we got to hide. We got to hide, and we do a lot of stunts and tricks and things like that of who we're sending when we're in this 3-4 defense. But there were many times that I saw some casualties out on our defense by having JPP in coverage, not having Vita Vea on, and we had a lot more confidence in Roach or Nacho rather. But I listen, if it's Vita or Nacho, I want Vita out there, and I'm not putting JPP in coverage at this stage in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've even seen Michael Divinity out there. I'm sure I saw 46 out there once or twice, trying to get back in coverage, and that's great if they're disguising it. But if Todd Bowles is going to continue to put JPP in pass coverage, we're going to get beat by teams like the Saints that are able to do this. But just, line up and pound, that's one thing. So defensively, that was kind of my issue with them. Out of some of the blitzes, I'm for the blitzes. Go for it. That's what you do. But who we're dropping, I'm a little bit with that. And now second, I'm sure we're all talking about it right now, is Donovan Smith. Blake, I said in the Blake show this week, when someone calls you out, the next time you get a lineup in front of that person, if you don't bust their tail, it's just you've lost all manhood. Like, I have just no respect for Donovan Smith. I think we need a Donovan Smith challenge for all the Buccaneer fans. Just start your kickback. videotape it, post it on Bucs Report. We got to find us a tackle. That's it.
Yeah,
it's the Donovan Smith challenge. We got to find us a tackle. Listen, I'm 6'4", I'm 285. I'm going to be a tackle.
Well, let's do it, man. I got Frank up there. Ray wants to put on a little bit of weight.
You should have saw me back in Little League.
I seen you today at the wing, the wing plate. How much you got to put on a little bit more weight, my friend. But I think Frank, he has a better kickback than Donovan Smith. It was a rough game for Smith, and he's got to be better, because if he's not, he's going to get Brady hurt. He's going to get Brady hit, and then on top of it, you could get him hurt, and you don't want your 43-year-old starting quarterback hurt, because basically the year is in doubt at that point. What else?
Yeah. No, we definitely can't have Brady getting hit. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. When you watch these players, there's sometimes when they're just running. Speaking about Ronald Jones, listen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who wasn't happy with him. He came out and he ran. He ran deep intensity in his cuts and his jump cuts, and the way he was trying to hit and dig in for every little bit. And listen, it's his job to lose, and he knows it, because he knows how BA does things. But listen, he's not giving any opportunity for him to lose that. He's not giving any opportunity for him to lose that. He's going to go out and give 100% and try and keep this job. And I expect Leonard Fournette to come pushing for it, because he's that type of player. He belongs, and he should come and push for it, which is, at the end of the day, that's going to make our running game overall better. I saw a lot of – it's not going to be noticed today, and as everybody's real emotional, they won't notice it. But aside from Donovan Smith, the rest of the offensive line, except for Tristan Wirfs, and granted, he's a rookie. He's going to have some rookie mistakes. We know that.
Sure.
But I'm talking about that interior. Those two guards in that center, they were getting nasty in there. When you go back to the tape, those are things that I watched. They were getting nasty.
Yeah, I like the nastiness. It's just gotta again, you've got to do a better job of opening up those holes. I like how Jones ran. There were times though where I feel like he was a little bit tentative. Maybe that was because he was getting hit in the backfield and the offensive line wasn't doing a good enough job to open up those holes. But I feel like when you get him out in space, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. Again, VOV, victim of volume. So what else, Deshaun?
There you go. Hey, that's about it. I'm just telling you right now.
I gotta completely agree with Deshaun.
What were you saying?
Go ahead, Joshua Cole Island. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I completely agree with Deshaun, man. If Cam Jordan comes out and calls you out, says you by name personally, and then you don't step up and you don't man up to the challenge and you get beat, manhandled, ragdolled like that, it says something a lot about your character that, even after it happens, you don't somehow give yourself, OJ Howard said it, you have to make your own juice, and he had no juice. He had no energy. There was nothing that picked him up. And just in Cam Jordan on the weirdness of having no fans in the Superdome, it felt like we were at a Tampa Bay game. He's not done firing shots. You're going to see him again this season. You better make sure you're standing up to that challenge this time, because right now they can talk all that because they won the game and
that's it. They can talk and they can do that, but the thing is, Tampa Bay has to get better. And when the Saints come down here, the fans show up. Shut them up. That's it. Shut them up. All right, good stuff, Deshaun. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. All right.
No problem, man. Go Bucs.
All right, there you go. Let me fire those cannons for him. Right there. Let's go out to Frank really quick. Frank, what else? Did you like the running game? I mean, Ronald Jones, he had his moments. The offensive line, besides the Donovan Smith and Tristan Wirfs, they look pretty nasty in that interior. What would you say about the running game and the offensive line as a whole?
I mean, the offensive line played decent besides obviously Smith, but, the game dictated less running and more passing. But really at the end of the day, I mean, the defense I thought played pretty solid. I mean, I think Breeze only had one, deep pass on us that really was Dean was in slow-mo. He was going 15. The other guy was going 55. And, I mean, besides that, I think the defense played solid. I mean, I don't think the passing game hurt us too much other than Breeze's deep pass and then Taysom Hill's, trick play that, threw down. But Alvin Kamara is what really hurt us. And then the turnovers that turned into actually scores, that's what really hurt us the most. And I think at the end of the day, we got to clean that up and focus more on Alvin Kamara. I mean, we shut down virtually Michael Thomas. And we really, I think did we not hold Breeze under 200 yards?
Yeah, I mean, the final stats for Breeze, 18 for 30, 162 touchdowns. The key there no turnovers, nothing to write home about. You're right about Kamara. You held him in check, but then again, he had his 3 touchdowns, especially on the screen passes early. That's where your defense over pursues. Basically, Breeze being the veteran savvy leader that he is, he's going to make you pay. And if you're going to make a tackle, you got to make a tackle, because if not, Kamara is going to make you pay. That's why he got the big money there, Frank.
Yeah, and I still see us winning 12, 13 games, guys. We're going to clean this up. If anything, this team is going to show it's going to overcome this. I think that's going to be the difference in this team. Other than the talent of last year and this year, it's also going to be that we can rebound, we can clean it up, and I think we're going to see the leadership that's on this team by cleaning this up and bouncing back next week. I can even see us facing the Saints possibly even in the playoffs. So, I mean, we're not done with the Saints. The Saints aren't done with us. So, this was a great test game. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. This is a great test game, and I'd rather get the test, early than later, so that we can really know what we got to work on.
So, hold on. Any concern here? And Joshua, I'll let you get back to it, but any concern about Tom Brady and his chemistry with his wide receivers? Do you think they eventually put this together, Frank?
I mean, if you look at the first drive, there was really no chemistry issues. I think, at the end of the day, you probably, if we all slowed down and think about it, we were probably going to guess that he was going to have some of that. But as the game dictated more throwing and more passing and not more balance, I think that brought up the probability, and we saw exactly what happened. So, if you look at the first drive, I mean, what held us back? Nothing. I mean, they drove right down the field, and we looked really good. So, other than that, I mean, they're going to fix that. They're going to get on the same page. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
All right, Frank, go ahead and tell everybody out there what you're doing with 320 Solar. Of course, it's powered by 320 Solar, the sports web, the evolution of sports talk television.
Well, the big question is, do you want to get rid of your electric bill? And especially if your electric bill continues to get high and higher and higher. At the end of the day, I mean, you can do that by going solar. Solar brings a lot of benefits other than just providing power. It increases your home property value. If you ever sell a house, you're going to sell it for more money and a lot faster. And at the end of the day, it gives you backup power options. Lights go out, you're going to have power where everybody else doesn't. And in addition, it's green, it's clean energy, and then it saves you the green. So if you want to save money, we have a great program. You can go solar for your home for $0 out of pocket. That means you literally sign a few pieces of paper, and we can install everything for you, and you don't have to lift a finger, and we'll make sure you get your solar power turned on. And if you do that during this month, we have a promotion. You won't have to pay a payment for your solar power till January 2022.
All right, good stuff there. Thank you very much, Frank Ammons of 320solar.com for coming on the Evolution, all right?
See you guys.
All right, we'll see you later. There you go. So let's go out to go ahead, Joshua Cole-Allen.
Yeah, I just want to say on Frank's part, first of all, speaking of green, check out mycannabiscard.com.
Yes, good.
But speaking of what he said, the defense really, I mean, the score doesn't dictate what the defense did and how they shut. Obviously, Jared Cook had his catches 5 for 80, but Kamara, besides that last 38-yard bomb by Taysom Hill, he had only 29 total yards. His longest run was for 6, and his longest pass was for 8. Michael Thomas was held to 17 total yards together. Combined, that's 46 yards, not including that 38-yard catch for their top 2 scorers. Obviously, Kamara found the end zone twice. But you held Drew Brees to 160 yards. You got to be happy with that. Obviously, there's things to build upon last week, but I think offense was really what kind of struggled this week. And, obviously, special teams with that blocked field goal and the missed punt.
Turnover situation, 14 points. Let's go back out to Steve. Steve, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, powered by 320 Solar. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole-Allen, and Blake Anthony. Go for it.
I can tell you, I wish I had some solar power.
Go ahead. Speak up a little bit. Speak up. I can't hear you.
Well, I said I wish I had some solar power last week. Some storms came through San Antonio. I was out of power for about 14 hours after Oregon. Yeah, candles, and it was rough. But nonetheless, when do you think that we'll be able to see?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Steve. Go ahead. Speak up a little bit. We're having a little bit of difficulty there.
call back.
Yeah, call back. Call me back here. Get that phone situation. Let's go back out to the webheads here. Read these comments. I don't want to neglect you guys, but we've had phone call after phone call. So let's go ahead. Steve, hold up on the phone call. Let's read these webhead comments. We'll get out to Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats, who's debuting his newest show here on Bucs Report. You guys out there laughing, I'm going to give you this. All right, let's go. I know what you were
There's
laughing
some
about.
back channel communication going on.
You shut up and be quiet. Steve, can we hear you now?
Hey.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
You can hear you now, yes.
Okay. No, what I was saying was I wish I had solar power about a week ago. My freaking power went up about 30 dollars to have from Oregon. It was horrible. But nonetheless, when do you guys think that we see the usage of Gronk? Because it didn't seem like it was used that much. Unless I didn't see it.
I think it could take a couple of games for Fournette to work into it. That's what you're asking. I mean, only had 5 carries a day for 5 yards. Not really impressive. But once again, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, he's joined the team in about a week. So he's not going to necessarily – right. He's not necessarily going to know the playbook right away. So it may take him a couple games to work in. But he's definitely going to challenge a Ronald Jones. And a Ronald Jones has to step up his game. He played somewhat well. Like I said, there were moments there. But – he's going to get every opportunity, and it's a good problem for the Bucs to have. So I think Fournette eventually will work more into this offense. What else?
Well, what about Gronk? What do you think Gronk more about?
He was helping out. He was helping out a lot at right, trips, Wirfs at right tackle, and then Lord knows we'd have moved him over to the left side if we could. In fact, good news just came in. Donovan Smith was actually considering opting out because him and his wife, they had a beautiful young baby this offseason, and he was worried about the COVID-19. The good news is his wife can play left tackle better than he can, so she's going to come play left tackle, and it won't expose the house to any more of a risk than it already is.
Well, you know what?
Shut up.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Steve.
You know what? Hey, I'm 5'10". My 3 years with Afghanistan, I think I played. You got more parts than
I hate doing
the
show.
nonsense. Sorry,
All right,
Steve.
Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
And then also, did you guys?
What now? What now, Steve?
No, I said, you guys know more than I do.
Well, we think we do. I mean, some of us do here. I mean, I don't know if I do because I thought they were going to win 34-20. So what the hell do I know?
I said they were going to be 15-1 this season.
No, you did not. You said they were going to be 16-0. Your dementia is catching up with you, old friend.
Sorry.
You shut up over there, both of you too, Amos and Andy over there.
Laughing at it.
All right.
Guys, well,
Yes.
I'm not worried, but are you guys worried about? I don't know if you guys saw anything. I'm ready on.
I'm not worried. It's one game, but of course, again, you have to clean up that situation. The chemistry with the wide receivers has to be worked out. Your defense, your younger players, your Jamel Dean, he got sucked in looking in the backfield instead of defending his player from a Jared Cook. Defense.
That was a big pass.
It was a big pass, and it's the type of pass that a veteran leader like a Drew Brees is going to make you pay. And if you're looking back in the backfield, you got to get more pressure on good quarterbacks like that. We saw JPP. We didn't see enough pressure, and I saw too much pressure on Brady today. So, of course, that's been the big story with Donovan Smith and the lack thereof blocking on that left side. That's got to get improved and worked out. So there are still some concerns. They got to clean it up. And if they don't, they only have one. They only have themselves to fault for that. They have to look in the mirror. It's one game, though. Let's not panic, Steve. All right?
Hey, one last thing.
Yes.
So, in your honor, actually grilled some chicken wings with the homemade ranch, and they came out delicious.
Was that not good? Is that not a good thing? I mean, I like ranch. I like the blue cheese better. The wings here at the deck in Isla de Sol are phenomenal. I think I ate about 40 today. I probably gained about 10 or 20 pounds. I've got to get back to the gym because I'm putting on these LBs. We can't be doing that. But I tell you right now, love my wings on Sunday watching football, whether it's Sunday, Monday, Thursday. I love my wings here at the deck. So good stuff here, Steve. Thanks a lot for calling. Yes, sir.
Hey, wait, I got one last quick thing.
Yes.
I cancel my trip to Vegas. I'm thinking about going with Tampa just to watch the game. I'm actually going to the game, and I might come over there by you over there.
Well, you should. Don't might about it. Don't say you're going to do it. Be about it. Come down here for the evolution of sports talk television. All right, Steve?
All right. Don't worry. I'm not going to be done.
All right, yeah, don't be Donovan Smith and don't opt out, all right? Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you, all right? All right, guys, open phone line, your 320 Solar, powered by 320solar.com here. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole Allen of the Audible, Blake Anthony, both of those chuckleheads back there laughing. What do you have to say? And then we'll go out to Rick Hughes, and I got to read these comments, guys. I got to. Oh, you guys,
nothing to say. You got nothing to say now. Caddy,
you muted us.
We didn't mute you. You guys muted you. We saw what you did there. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Blake, go ahead.
All right, guys. That's enough. That's a complete waste of time here. Thanks a lot for wasting my time. There you go. Let's go out to Rick Hughes. Rick Hughes, welcome to the Evolution.
I feel like I should be going. Talking to you after those guys.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, and they muted themselves again because they're jerks. So go ahead, Rick Hughes.
Hey, listen, it's going to be okay. What you saw today was a team that's played together for years, playing against a team that has not played together. You saw it was basically you had a team who was just trying to figure out this. Oh, okay, this is what it's like when we play together. This first time they got punched in the face. This team as a team, this group of guys, and you learn. I mean, it's Brady's going to learn. Everybody's going to learn. And in the post-game press conference, they asked him about his chemistry with the wide receivers, and he said the chemistry's fine. That's not the problem. I threw some bad passes, which all that means is he's stepping up and taking responsibility, even if it wasn't him. Look, the bottom line is you got to play better. Okay, that's fine. You learned. This is a process. We said it in advance. It was going to be sloppy at the beginning. How many people said there's going to be a slow start? I mean, think about how many people said it. And now there's this flood of people. I mean, the comments are unreal of people wanting to jump ship, get rid of Brady. I mean, fire Arians.
I'm going to read some of these comments here. Let's go out to the webheads. And I know you got a new show debuting here coming up. We're about to wrap this thing up. We still got people watching, but I want to go out to all these comments here and get them read. Unfortunately, in all reality, those 14 points of turnovers cost us the game. Shaking my head. Joshua saying Arnold Sr., the left tackle, sucks. I think that kind of says it for everybody.
He opted out.
Well, he looked like he did tonight. Donovan did that for 4 years, though, says Carlton Cook. How did he not get the reference or running back protection? I'm disappointed, says Stunning. If it happens next game, get him out of here. Charles says Donovan just does not move his feet. Yash says Joe Haig is better. Watch his tape. Bobby says offensive line sucks every year with no running game. Jackie says it's pathetic. You have to back your team, good or bad. New England was a great team, and they had some boner games. Okay.
The running game wasn't. I want to say something. I don't know that the running game was that bad until they fell behind, and you had to somewhat abandon it.
The boner games. That's a new one. Tampa Bay lost by 11. Imagine if they stayed.
Not 10 o'clock, guys.
Well, you're oh,
they played really stiff today.
Okay. That's my man right there. That's what you get with Rick Hughes from the cheap seats. Why didn't Donovan Smith opt out? Pocket pool 76. Ronald Jones looked great today until the Bucs can get on the same page in the air. They should stick to the run with Jones and Fournette. 1-2 combo defense just has to figure out how to stop a nosebleed, says Pocket Pool. Milo Jackson Smith has the athleticism. Look at his combine numbers. I think it's mental lapses. He gets a little lazy. Timmy says it's the first effing game with no preseason. This was the first time we had a real game. We will do better. Bad coaching, says Cook. Yes, they are a well-oiled machine, but they were definitely beatable today. Solomon also says, and we didn't make that happen. Paul, got to back your boys as a fan. I expected more than I saw is all I want people to take from filling out process when the gel is going to be lethal. Bobby says, blame Jameis chicken stuff. Non-factor. Stunning says, cut the guy that tried to catch that onside kick, please. That would be Mike Edwards. Spider says Carlton Cook. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Brock was getting double and triple coverage at times. Johnny Dean, my man. Let's see. Michael Smith or Michael Scott. We were already off to a window no start, but guys, don't get out of shape. This Buccaneer team will respond next week against Carolina. Guys, we put 23 points on New Orleans Saints defense. We will score 30 on Carolina. I'm predicting the Bucs beat Carolina 34-10 next week. Very good. Mike Evans needs better communication. The first interception was communication. But once again, according to Coach Arians in the press conference, that was on Brady, not Evans. It was obvious the refs wanted the Saints to win.
Oh, come on.
Ready to go.
Come on.
But there were times with the pass interference, you've got to be more consistent. But, hey, that's refereeing there. I don't necessarily think they wanted the Saints to win. I just think they're poor officials. That's all. Like Ray is a poor joke teller here. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. Love you, boss. 15 more games. Would you shut up over there, both of you guys? Both Joshua Cole and Blake Anthony laughing, and it's all good because Michael Scott writes a lot. So that covered you up there, Rick Hughes. Sorry about that. In Raymond James Stadium, we will have the same type of victory. Drew Brees will be the quarterback throwing a pick six. Tom Brady is going to remember that game. He's going to remember his first start as a Buccaneer was a game that his team could have won. It's not for the turnovers. Saints, don't think you're going to win this division easy, because the next time we will see you on the field, you're going to get roasted, says Michael Scott. Good stuff. Paul, Arians, Leftwich, get out the iron press, the wrinkles, potent offense peeps. Trey says the O-line isn't very good, especially 76. Buck family, love it. Man, it's one game. I understand that it's a division game, but all parties lost, so we're good. Keith, what's up, man? Absolutely stunning. Preseason would have helped us out. Absolutely. Milo Jackson says, I think it's a few weeks this team. Huh? Go ahead.
That last comment.
Sure.
So will people stop saying that preseason games don't matter after this year?
Yes.
Will that cliche stop?
Well, I think we can all say that preseason matters, but also training camp lives matter, and you have to get those guys ready to go with those reps, and it goes back to what Coach Arian said, and I know it feels like a bad mumble rap song on the radio playing in your ear, which is never pleasant. It was like watching the Bucs today. When you miss those 400 reps, it's definitely going to affect your rookies, and it's also going to affect some of those veterans because you got to get on the same page, especially with the new quarterback. Brady has to get on the same page with an Evans and a Godwin, and they necessarily haven't had enough time. So it bears watching in the next couple weeks. They got
Blake. Yeah. 16 of the teams will be saying that preseason matters.
Well, I think
and the Bucs are tied for second in the NFC South right now.
Well, there you go. I mean, there you go. There's Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy with that information. Let's go ahead and fire those cannons.
I bring the pack.
And then let's go ahead and play this right here because they're second in the division and they lost. Wow, this division is. By the way, this division is not very good, but it's going to be competitive to a certain degree. You got to think that Atlanta. Who knows about Atlanta? Carolina's rebuilding, but the Saints are still top in this division, and today they didn't prove that wasn't, they played their best. They played a good game.
Well, and I just want to respond, Blake. I love you, brother, but no one ever said the preseason wasn't important. The preseason just sure as hell ain't worth full price. That's all we're saying. If you want to give us the preseason, prorater, give us some discounts, give us free beer, make it worthwhile. But when you're charging me $195 per ticket, $400 for two, to go watch the Texans on a Thursday night and see the starters play 6 plays, that ain't worth it. No. But yes, the preseason would have helped this team.
All right, let's go out to Milo here. I think in a few weeks, this team is going to be on the same page. Nobody is going to want to play them. Exactly. They need to work out the kinks with the O-line, and Brady will get better each week. Stunning says, we need to throw to Godwin and Gronk more. Bucs fam, absolutely, or Howard or Brait. We have all these weapons. We need to utilize them. Milo 100%. Yash says, well, the Bolts won. Absolutely. That was the other breaking news of the day. Your Tampa Bay Lightning. You like that, Joshua Cole Allen? I know you did. 4-1 over the Islanders to take a commanding 3-1 lead in this series here. Game 5 Tuesday night. The Lightning can close it out for a trip to pursue the Stanley Cup. There you go.
All over here. Go Celtics.
Would you shut up and be quiet? Nobody cares about the Celtics or Boston sports. Shut up. All right, let's see here. Keith Larson, you know me. Dan says, I don't know about Byron. Again, one game. We'll see how that works out. Carlton Cook, garlic knots, laugh out loud. The first Ted was all Brady. I guess that would be the interception there. At least Tampa won. Yaj says, on paper, we look good. This is not Madden either. One game. Saints are a better team right now. But points injured again. Is that for the Lightning? We'll check on that. Not a good news there. Victim of volume, absolutely. To this day, Carlton, Fournette will start in week 3 or 4. Khalip, I think the game plan sucked. Game plan sucked last year as well. Khalip, again, no screens, quick throws, and such.
You throw picks, it looks like your game plan sucks. You
Right.
keep throwing interceptions, yeah, it's going to look like your game plan sucked. I promise you. Throwing picks was not part of the game plan.
No, I don't think they plan to throw the ball to the other team. But again, I like Leo Haggerty says, the legend himself who was commenting, they get paid too. Lattimore is pretty good defender. That back end was pretty good. And also Cameron Jordan, Tristan Wirfs, welcome to the NFL. That was not necessarily a good matchup. And that's the reason why Tampa Bay Ray Gronk had to help out on that side. But you at least expect your veteran who's getting paid a lot of money on that left side to do a better job. All right. We need Donovan out, says Desmond. Badass coach. Only one game. Absolutely. Steve says people say 8-win team. Really? I say 6. Wow. Carlton. Todd Winter Park. Hello, Todd. Chill, Will. Should we trade Brait? Can we not do that? So let's not trade the weapons there. Smith couldn't even block on run plays. Hello, says Massimo. I don't know where he's from. Probably Italy. Is Jason Light still a good general manager? Asking for a friend.
Yes.
One game.
Come
Yes.
on.
Of course he's
Oh, my God.
Earl.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
It was Jason. It was Jason's light fault because they lost. Yeah, absolutely, Earl.
I mean,
wow,
is more talented than ever been. Come on, BA is a problem. Told that last year. Yes, love it, says Tom. Bucs still go 11-5, but get swept by the Saints. They just do not have the depth the Saints do, and the Saints have gone 13-3 2 or 3 years straight. Realistically speaking, 2021 is more a Buck year than 2020. That's what Johnny Dean is saying, and he's sticking by it. Dylan says, Stunning told you they would rebound today. Time to close it out on Tuesday night. Yaj says, O-line, O-line, O-line. Carlton Cook, we should beat the Panthers. Dylan saw flashes of what can be done. All the talent in the world, tighten it up, and I think we can certainly beat the Saints. You know, going back to that first drive, impressive. 9 plays, 84 yards, a perfect touch pass, 29 yards to Chris Godwin right in the breadbasket. And then who would believe or expect Tom Brady with the 1-yard run, the quarterback keeper, and the big spike? I think that was kind of F you to Bill Belichick. Just saying. That's what it felt like to me and the whole league. But then again, it caught up with them. So we'll see how that goes. It's week 1, guys and girls. Damn. All right. Carlton says, overreacting. It's Super Bowl or a bust, says Carlton Cook. I thought the Bucs offensive line was 7th ranked in the league by PFF last year. We all know about statistics. Super Bowl isn't won on week 1. Very true. PFF is skewed, bro. Dylan says, how many points off of turnovers? Brady pick 6, Brady first interception, offsides on Vea, muffed kickoff. That's 17 points handed to them off of turnovers. There you go. Fairweather Bucs fans are always overreacting. We love them here. Stunning says, we need to get it under control. Dan says, get rid of Byron. The dude did get your cookies yet? No cookies. Stunning. Light drafted Smith. That's a fair point. Every game today was sloppy like preseason, says Christopher Cole. Dan says Devin White is a beast. Boy, oh boy, did Devin White show you what he could be. I mean, just filling those holes up with the running game, coming at it just all over the place.
We Levante.
Yes, him and Levante. I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. They were, I mean, oh, my God, they were amazing.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's go out to Yaj here. Tom's still learning the playbook. How long he kept looking at his wristband. Dan, Devin White is a beast, my favorite Buck. Tom Ferguson, this reality is the best place this really is the best place for a post game. I appreciate that, Tom. This is the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Is it TV? Is it a radio show? It's both. It gives you the opportunity, webheads, to text in and also get your phone calls. We love the interaction. We try to give you as much time to talk, but do 3 things for me, as we always talk about here on the Sports Web. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Joshua Cole Allen, Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49, and, of course, debuting a new show coming up here after the post-game edition, Mr. Rick Hughes. So thank you very much, Tom. I wish I was in Tampa. I might just go for the stomp here or stop here this year. The atmosphere, I think he's saying. I don't know. We were the victim of team commentary. Okay. This is pain. We do have to get it under control, but it's encouraging to know we played far from our best and only lost by 11. This was probably the hardest game of the year with everything factored in. Definitely call in now if you want to. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Powered by 320solar.com. Trade rate free up cap room. Blake knows. Jason says, new year, same results. Tom, Winston, Brady. Goodness gracious, guys, already. Are you insane, Will? Blake Ruffino, what's going on, guys? Absolutely. What's going on, Blake Ruffino? Great game. I was stressed as hell. Laughed my ass off. Are you serious? Sports in the house. Severion, preseason, at least half a training camp would be good just to work out the kinks. Blake says, thought Bucs defense looked great, very dominant at times. Keith Goolsby, too many mistakes. Absolutely. Dylan, it's pretty sad when Wirfs drastically outplayed him, and he was the one who was dealing with Cam Jordan. Bucs O-line needs to get better. Savrion Smith has to go ASAP. He was getting dominated by someone else who wasn't Jordan. By the way, what was that name on that jersey today? Trey Hendrickson, out of the greatness of what?
Florida Atlantic University.
That is a powerhouse school. Who is coaching over there, by the way? Is that Willie Taggart?
Oh.
Wow. I'm sorry. That's from a very angry Seminole fan. I feel like we kind of, the Seminoles yesterday had problems scoring on offense and also had their offensive line problems. What's new? That's what always happens there. Stunning. There you go. Damn, Cam Jordan just barely on the Superdome with no fans. Felt like we were at Tampa Bay game. We addressed that. Blake says Fournette needs to get more touches, in my opinion. Agree. The interceptions costed us, y'all, period. Everybody says y'all down here. I don't know what that's. Y'all. Those interceptions, y'all, they costed us. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Y'all come back now.
All right, let's see. In a video game, Joseph says, no way, you all win 12, maybe 10. All right, Joseph, you're the soothsayer there. Blake got that 100,000-yard stare. Jared, nothing but motivation. Let's go on the run. Bucs pocket pool. Aside from 2007, Brady has always been a ball and clock control quarterback, not about the big play, but 15 to 20-yard plays, controlling the game, giving the D time to rest. Bucs need to figure that out to succeed. Christopher Cole. Well, at least the Lightning won, and the Cubs pitcher threw a no-hitter. Wow. So how about that?
I didn't know that. Wow.
Well, there you go. You learned something from Christopher Cole. Dylan says,
the crowd went.
Also did notice Jordan throwing punches in the first half. Blake, they need to commit to run the ball more, especially Deuce McAllister. I mean, Latavius Murray. Beat ourselves as Jay Arroyo. Brady got a welcome to Tampa. We don't normally get all that PI calls there. Michael Scott.
He did have the most touchdowns by a quarterback in a Buccaneers debut.
Well, there you go. Still going to beat the Saints when it comes to winning that 8th game of the season. When we see them at Raymond James, there could be fans allowed in the stadium. Hopefully Drew Brees is not the starting quarterback. Then Jameis will be the starting quarterback. I hope Brees is there for the game so we can beat them with a Brees, nice. I guess. WTF says best virtual edits video. Where's he been? I'm still pissed that the guy tried to catch the ball on the onside kick. What in the world is Mike Edwards thinking? I bet so much money on this, says best virtual edits video. Well, nobody told you to watch this broadcast and bet money on it. The other guy had.
That would be my show on Friday, I think.
Just a tough decision. Got to be better than that. No excuses. Suddenly, preseason games matter. Jay Arroyo, preseason should not be priced as regular season games is my issue. Yeah, absolutely. That was Blake Anthony there. I'm not going to lie. Yes, this game kind of took me off, kind of reminded me when Tom Brady threw the pick six, reminded me of Jameis Winston. Everybody probably thought, here we go again. Guess what, Tom's not Jameis. Tom Brady will have this team ready. Saints, you think the division is yours. You think you're going to win it easy. We shut Michael Thomas down. He didn't get crap against this team. We just screwed ourselves, basically. There we go. Donovan Smith played horrible. Rick Hughes was right. Damn. Now you all know Winston was laughing on the sideline saying, look at him holding on to the ball that long. And you know he loved it when he threw 2 interceptions and 1 for a pick 6. You know he said it himself. Hitting that, the reason they got rid of me, but I'm waiting until week 4 to pass judgment on this offense. And you all know that Jameis Winston is the 3rd string quarterback, right? Taysom Hill.
That's exactly right. They're talking trash about a 3rd string quarterback.
Awesome, guys. Entire offensive line is trash, has been for a long time. This was the same game Jameis would have had. It was never Winston's fault, says Craig. Dylan says, and Mickens was not impressive. The only 2 times he didn't call fair, he got blown up and didn't call Ed. He didn't look comfortable at all. Let's see here. I think would love to hear the flamethrower talking about D. Smith tonight. Sorry. Goal Bolts. Shooty Shoot says Goal Bolts. There you go. Best virtual edits video throwing punches at our players. I saw that too. Michael Scott again. Everybody acts like we got blown out in the game, but as far as bad, that game may seem we only lost by 11 points. And if Tom Brady, I know Michael Scott writes a lot. Tom Brady didn't throw the pick 6, actually didn't get that field goal block. The Buccaneers probably have won the game. You're absolutely right, but you can't do it. You could, woulds, if, shoulds.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah,
y'all.
Yeah, y'all.
Better than
I love that, y'all. Y'all come back now. Yeah. You all see Cam Jordan in the beginning of the game straight up punch someone who was on the ground. Well, that's Cam Jordan right there.
Gonna find right there.
I wish the Bucs would have got Jason Peters, and he spelled okay for the offensive line because Donovan Smith is a joke. If we don't win the Super Bowl, he'll be the reason why. Shooty Shoots, come on, people. It was the first game they were playing the Saints, not the Browns. Of course, the Browns get blown out today with all the expectations once again. You know what? Maybe we should increase draft stock and trade Mike, thinking out loud. Mike was not good today. Dylan, I'm not trading him after one game. Thought Murphy Bunting played a great game too. That he did. The whole DBs played great. Dylan says for sure, except for Dean falling asleep. That was my thing there. I know, right? Burnt by Cook. Come on, don't say he had his eyes on the quarterback. Well, he really did.
Yeah, he was looking right there.
Damn tight end. Well, that's a pretty good damn tight end in Cook.
Yeah.
Who's burned a lot of people, and he fits right into that offense with Drew Brees. Can't wait for next week. Hope we don't lose, or hope we don't lose exactly. Only explanation is that he thought the ball was going his way, just lazy. Dylan, Panthers are underrated, but we can certainly beat them. They have extremely young defense. Breakdancer Kiyoshi. I love that name. And we'll play this for that breakdancing. There you go. Breakdancer Kiyoshi. Should the Bucs trade for an offensive lineman, even if it includes a draft pick, Donovan Smith, and a pick for another lineman? I'm not sure if they're getting to that point. What is the Zoom code to the Bucs meeting? Arians has to hear from all of Tampa Bay. Nice try. I don't think anybody has that.
Joshua holds those codes.
All y'all. And then let's go. Pocket Pool Evans looks like the odd man out on Brady Circle Trust right now. Let's not lose our minds. Let's go out to my live here. Patrick Miller says Donovan Smith blew it. Brady wasn't on being pressed just like Winston. The Saints also got off on some sneak trick plays as well. Breeze, Peyton's perfected with trick play system. Did well being our first time together. Brady is 14-4 in week 1 games. And his previous 3 losses, he's reached the Super Bowl. Really good things seen today. Too many mistakes on basic football. Stiff, laugh out loud. Steve says, I think we played good. Mistakes, of course. We are learning to play. Brady is learning the game with us. So many games left. Brady is going to remember this game and have a vengeance, like Skip says. Psycho Tom and preseason matters. We'll read the rest of these comments and then we will wrap it up for the night, guys. The offensive line needs to shore it up, fix it up. I think the defense is fine. I just think the Buccaneers need to fix the offensive line. Also believe Leonard Fournette needs to be the starter. He will have the offensive line balance because he's a great pass blocker. Ronald Jones is a terrible pass blocker. Laugh out loud. Next week, Leonard Fournette will be a Buccaneer starting running back. Should the Bucs trade for a lineman? I'm not sure if they're there at that point yet. I don't think they're going to give up on a Donovan Smith. He's going to have to be better. Hey, let's talk about some positives. Levante looked like a beast. That he did. We talked about that before. The Bucs and Deshaun Tisdale says our inside backers are a great tandem. So we'll go out here to Joshua Cole Allen and Blake Anthony. Give me your final thoughts here on the Bucs loss to the New Orleans Saints 34-23. Have at it, fellas.
There's definitely things that need to be shorn up offensively, and some things defensively. I mean, you had some hands in the balls. You need to turn them into interceptions. Offense, we can sit here and roast Donovan Smith all day, the lack of communication all day. But in the end, it's week one. Some wise person once told me to never react positively or negatively to week one. This applies to every team, every game. We know nothing yet. Talk to me in week 3.
Okay, Blake.
I have to agree. It's just one week. They're going to go back and figure out what works and what doesn't work. Tom Brady is a guy that will watch an interception 100 times and realize what the bad throw he made, and he's going to come out to be better in the next week. There's a lot, like I said, Josh just said, there's a lot of things you could talk about, but there's a lot of positive as well, and a lot of things that they can build on going to the first quarter of the season. So, if we still have these same issues in week 4, the first quarter of the season, then there's some issues, but they'll look forward to being at home in Tampa Bay and playing the Panthers.
All right, Rick Hughes.
Hey, we all saw this coming. It was going to be a kind of a sloppy week. It's been talked about we've been talking about it for a while now. It's going to be okay. Next up is the Panthers. There are things to work on. We saw what we need to work on. Next.
Yep, that's it. Next up, and I hate to end the show because we got so many people watching. It is a popular show, but we've been at this, and we got to get Rick on, and we want to get out of here because we're going to be here all night. Would you shut up and be quiet? Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy.
Next week, week 2, the Panthers come to town. The game's at Raymond James Stadium at 1 o'clock. Your Bucs report will be out here at 9 a.m. again here with Cup of Ray. We're going to reset. We're going to reload. We're going to retool. And we got the cheap seats with Rick Hughes coming at you next.
All right, guys, go ahead and promote each other here, Mr. Joshua Cole Allen and Blake Anthony.
Yeah, I have the Audible every Wednesday night, just sporadic appearances with Peter on the Sports Web. I'm also writing a bunch of articles and content always out, and a new show, Friday Night Fantasy, every Friday at 8 o'clock, opening up for Peter Blake. Make sure you tune in there for all your season-long fantasy, daily fantasy, and betting advice. So make sure you check that out. Blake, what about you?
You see me every Monday and Friday. Monday be post-game, Friday being pre-game to the Panthers. 3 o'clock at Sports Talk 49. Looking forward to see you guys. I also got a Madden challenge me in Madden 21 on our Twitch channel. I'm looking for somebody to be the Panthers and beat me. If somebody can finally beat me, I might give away some giveaways and things like that. But I'm taking on all challenges. I'm looking forward to somebody give me some type of competition. Peter's not good enough.
Easy now, easy. You know what? So we're going to decide that again. Go ahead, Rick Hughes.
Was that video games you're talking about? Let's talk football. If you want to come back and talk actual football, I'm going to be here in about 15 minutes. We will be here in about 15 minutes. Join me. Any of you guys who want to come on my show, I'd love to have you on there, but this is going to be a lot of fun. It's the first episode ever of the Cheap Seats, live from the Cheap Seats, powered up by 320 Solar, and I am looking forward to seeing you all.
All right, I'll get you out of here, Rick. Good luck on your show. Definitely tune in here. Bucs report from the Cheap Seats.
Break the leg, brother.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. And then we'll get you guys out of here. Thanks a lot for all your time today, all your hard work. Joshua Cole Allen of the Audible, of course, and Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Looking forward to all your tape breakdowns here. All right?
Absolutely. Thanks, guys, for having us here.
Yep.
All right, good stuff, guys. All right, and we're just going to wrap it up for the night as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to the New Orleans Saints 34-23. 0-1, only one game. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy.
We both were wanting to wish a good friend of ours a happy birthday.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. The Tampa Bay and sports broadcasting
40
legend.
years.
40 years of sports broadcasting experience. Mr. Al Keck.
Happy birthday, Al.
Happy birthday, buddy. Thanks a lot for being a great mentor, being a part of Bucs Report. You definitely put this thing in motion. I've learned so much from you. And the evolution of sports talk television, the way it is right now, if you didn't give me that advice 5 years ago at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting of humbling myself, going back to school, and learning the ins and outs, this would have never been possible. I would have never got picked up. So I really appreciate you and what you do for Bucs Report. And remember, tune in tomorrow night. He'll be on the Sports Web and also the Al Keck Show at 9 o'clock. And also want to wish my nephew a happy birthday. 16 years old
He's
kid.
16 now. Still a Gators fan.
Gavin, I love you so much. You're a Bucs fan. Anytime you want to learn about sports broadcasting, how it's done. But I'm so proud of you, my friend, and I know that you miss your papa. I miss my dad. I know you miss him. Your grandfather, your papa would be so damn proud of you. So happy birthday, buddy. And the best is yet to come. 16 years old, they're growing up. He's growing up so fast. So happy birthday, guys out there. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, man. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Brother.
Best
Well
of
said.
the Bay, absolutely. So for Joshua Cole Allen, for Blake Anthony, for Philip Schwagler, for the Atomic Blonde today, for Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy and Cedric and all the fine folks here at the Deck Bar and Grill, I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Bucs fall to 0-1, but they got Carolina. We'll see you later on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, powered by 320 Solar. Have a great night. You're now in the Sports Lab, a sports talk show for the hardcore fan. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense.
Come to Sam Ash for hundreds of exclusive holiday deals on music and sound gear from the most iconic brands. Save big on professional and starter guitars, drums, digital pianos, horns, violins, DJ, and electronic production equipment. Supercharge your home studio with deals on podcasting, streaming, and AV equipment like speakers, microphones, headphones, and acoustic treatment. Plus, with 36 months no-interest financing on thousands of items, you can get the gear of your dreams right now. From our incredible selection and service to our lowest price guarantee for over 95 years, real musicians know you only go to Sam Ash.
No one cares what you've done in the past. They don't care what you did last year or 5 years ago. You know, they hired me to do a job here, and I'm going to go in there and do it like you've always seen me do for a long time.
We're going to have our ass ready to go to New Orleans. They're allowed to pump in noise now this year. So you know what that's going to be like in New Orleans. Just like if they had their fans. Is the guy in the mirror doing what it takes? Loyalty. Faithful adherence to a cause. It's the cause. And the world championship. Honest to God, I looked out to the day. I've been in this league 27 years. I've never seen so much talent on the field.